Hello everyone, welcome to Gold Nugget, JAW_success. If this is your first time to the channel, let me welcome you. If you have already subscribed, let me thank you for joining me on this growth path. Today, my nugget is do the necessary checks. But remember, there will always be need for adjustments. Now, before I go into the nugget, I would love for you if you could let me know what you have started since you have been watching this channel. What progress have you been making in your growth, in your development? Because, of course, as I said before, one of the aim of this channel is that persons who listen to the nuggets, that they will put something in place, and as a result, they will start to grow, because that's what this channel is about. And I can share with you that having gone to listen to some of the videos that I've made before, that I had to say to myself, who is that talking? Not to blow my own horn or my own trumpet, but to say to myself, the person who is behind that nugget is much wiser than the person who is actually saying the things that are being said. So for me, I am growing as a result of listening to these nuggets. So I hope that you are doing the same. As I said today, my nugget has to deal with making adjustments or doing the necessary checks, but know that you will have to change certain things as you progress. That's how life is. Constant adjustment, constant change. We are always in a competition. We're always seeking to reach the new height. In fact, if you have a product, right, and that product is, let's say, a very good product today, it doesn't necessarily mean that it will be a good product tomorrow. Why? Because competition will cause it to erode. Somebody will come up with a better alternative. Somebody will come up with something that rivals it and put it out of use. Okay? And you can look as far back as when we had television. It started out as black and white, then it moved to colored. Now we have smart televisions. So you have to look at yourself as somebody who is constantly adjusting, constantly learning, constantly making improvement. And let me use this analogy. When we set out on a journey, we're going somewhere. We decided that, okay, let's say we're going to the movie or to the beach, right? There are certain checks that we need to make before we leave out. First of all, we need to dress appropriately. And that's how life is. We need to look at ourselves and ask ourselves, am I having the right gear? Am I having the right frame of mind? Do I have the right reference for what I am about to do? And so we need to dress properly. Outside of that, we need to look at our mode of transport, right? If it's our own car, we have to make sure that the car is in running condition. Is it licensed? Are the tires properly inflated? Is there gas in it? Is the battery working? And all of those kind of stuff, because you don't want to be on the road and the vehicle that you're in start to malfunction, break down, as it were. But that's how life is. We have to deal with those eventualities that will come up, that will cause us to make adjustments. All right. How do we handle detours? How do we handle road closures? How do we handle traffic? Because that's how life is, constantly adjusting. Yes, we do the necessary checks and we make the necessary adjustments that we need to make, but know that even after doing that, we still need to make further adjustments. And that's how I want us to look at today. What adjustment do you need to make to ensure that you are successful? Who do you need to align yourself with? Who do you need to get out of your circle? Who do you need to ensure that is a part of the plan? Which book do you need to read? What movie do you need to watch? What seminar do you need to attend? You have to ask yourself these questions, because at the end all and be all, I personally don't know everything. So probably that's why I constantly try to read. I constantly try to be in tune. I really don't like the news, but I really try to make sure that I watch enough of certain things to give me the information, whether it be about the coronavirus that is going around now, or it was cholera or some other vaccine virus that was in place, whether it be the flu or that kind of stuff. We consistently make changes. However, as we move out on the journey, right, we need to know how to handle road closures, a detour. I personally can confess here. Well, as I said, confession is good for the soul. Most times, in going to certain places, I give myself just enough time to reach on time. I do not make allowances. So you can understand how that feels, that when you go out on the road and you come upon a sign that says road close ahead, detour, right? For me, confession here again, when I come up on a detour sign, it forces me to drive faster. It forces me to make certain changes that, boy, could be deadly. And that's what we want to avoid. We want to give ourselves sufficient time to get to where we need to go, so that when we come up on a road closure, we still can drive at a safe speed, with as much caution as we can, especially if it's an area where we have never driven before. Okay, we don't know what we're going to encounter around this new path. But can I say this? I personally wanted to become an architect, but having gotten a detour in life because I wasn't there wasn't enough finance. I never had enough money to undertake studying for the architectural degree that I wanted. However, the detour that I've went on has caused me to be at this position that I'm at today, where I now see myself as an individual who wants to see other persons growing. I want to see businesses growing. I want to see persons achieving their best self. And as a result of that, I no longer want to be an individual drawing things. I want to be an individual who sees people like that, the butterfly coming out of the cocoon, becoming their best self, and would read, would research, would do anything possible to ensure that that process is along. So a detour sometimes is not bad because it shows you things that you would have never seen before. In other words, it helps you to find out things about yourself that you would never have anticipated if you had not encountered the detour. Okay, another thing that can happen to us as we go on the journey is we come to a bottleneck, traffic. We encounter traffic. And for those of us who live in the United Kingdom, we know that there is the M25 is a pain in the neck. There is no time that you encounter the M25 where you don't have traffic, especially if you have to go to the Darford crossing. You encounter some form of traffic or another. And in life, that is an important lesson. We need to remember that we are not alone on the road that we are traveling. There are other persons that they are going in the same direction. However, if our destination is not priority on our mind, we end up cussing off everybody that is around us and blaming these other motorists. They don't want me to reach where we're going. But if you had done the necessary checks, then you would have known that there's always going to be traffic on this road. So you give yourself enough time to reach or to go where you're going, so that just in case you encounter traffic or you encounter a standstill, you have enough time to still get there. For me, I can say, having started out learning how to read at 17 plus, some of my time, as it were, was robbed, or should I say, because I never had the parental influence. And at some point in my life, I wasn't willing to listen to anybody or take advice from anybody. I was just doing how I feel and what I felt. My time cut short, so therefore I have to do a whole lot of making up now. The beautiful thing about life is that you can call ahead and say to persons, I'm going to be late, I might miss the meeting, take notes for me, or those kind of things, because I am stuck in traffic. And that's how you need to look at life. Who can you call when there are dark times? Who can you ask to stand in for you? A lot of persons, we have made so many enemies that we don't have people who will stand up for us and stand with us. And this is what I want to say to you in this video. You will encounter problems, no matter how the necessary checks that you have done, no matter how much preparation you have done, you will encounter problems. But it's important that you know that you have people around you that you can rely on in times of storm. And this is why I want to close out this nugget by saying, build the right friendship. Understand that tragedies happen and problems happen, but when you have people who you can lean on, when you have individuals who you can trust with your best self and trust with your highest ideals and dream, that's a wonderful thing to have. So I'm asking you in this nugget, do the necessary checks and balance, but know that you will still need to make adjustment. And one of those adjustments that you will need to make is to call upon people in times of situation and crisis, and it must be done properly and well. All right, this is JAW saying thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and share. Bye.